The flight from Dallas to Washington was nothing unusual. Business travelers glued to laptops, families trying to keep kids entertained, and a single dad quietly settling into seat 12F with his teenage daughter by the window. To everyone else, he was just another passenger. He wore jeans, a plain hoodie, and carried an old backpack instead of a fancy briefcase. His daughter leaned on his shoulder, earbuds in, humming softly to herself. But if you looked closely, you'd notice something in his eyes, a depth, a weight, like a man who'd lived through storms most of us couldn't imagine. The flight took off smoothly, the seatbelt sign chimed off, and the cabin filled with the normal shuffle of snacks and whispered conversations. That's when the pilot's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be passing close to Andrews Air Force Base. If you look out the left side, you may even catch a glimpse of F-22 Raptors in training." The passengers pressed their faces to the windows, excitement buzzing. After all, those jets were the crown jewels of American air power. The single dad didn't move. He just stared out the window quietly, almost as if he'd seen them before. Minutes later, the plane jolted slightly. A pair of F-22 Raptors appeared, escorting the passenger jet in perfect formation. Gasps filled the cabin. Phones rose in the air to capture the once-in-a-lifetime sight, but then something strange happened. Over the intercom, the captain's voice sounded puzzled. Passengers, we've just been hailed on a secure frequency by the Raptors. They asked if a man by the call sign Falcon 6 is on board this flight." The cabin went silent. "Falcon 6? Who?" Seat 12F shifted uncomfortably. The dad raised his hand slowly. "That's me." The crew froze. The captain actually left the cockpit, walked down the aisle, and whispered, "Sir, the Raptors said they'll maintain escort until we land, and they told me to tell you, welcome home." Whispers rippled through the rows. The passengers turned to stare. Who was this man? Just a single dad with a backpack. The daughter looked at him wide-eyed. "Dad, what's happening?" He exhaled, squeezing her hand. "Sweetheart, there's a part of my life I don't really talk about." And right there, in the hum of the airplane, his story came out. He wasn't always just Dad. Years ago, he was Major Daniel Cross, one of the most skilled fighter pilots the U.S. Air Force had ever seen. His call sign was Falcon 6, a name that once carried weight across battlefields and air bases alike. He had flown countless missions, saved fellow pilots mid-air, and carried the burden of choices no ordinary man should have to make. But after losing his wife, he walked away from it all. He chose fatherhood over fame, bedtime stories over briefing rooms. His daughter needed him more than the skies did. He never told her the full truth, because to him, being her dad was his highest honor. When the plane landed, something unforgettable happened. On the tarmac at Andrews, a line of uniformed personnel stood waiting. The F-22 pilots had already parked, helmets tucked under their arms, saluting as Daniel Cross stepped off the plane with his daughter by his side. Passengers pressed against the windows, watching history unfold before their eyes. The daughter whispered, "Dad, they're saluting you." He smiled softly. "No, sweetheart. They're saluting what we all fight for: family, freedom, and the chance to live with kindness." The passengers never forgot it. Neither did the little girl, who finally realized her dad's quiet strength wasn't just about his past in the sky. It was about the choices he made every single day, to show up, to love, to protect. And for everyone watching that day, the lesson was clear. True greatness isn't in medals or titles. It's in the sacrifices we make for the people we love. Closing line for impact, he was just a single dad in seat 12F, until his call sign reminded the world that real heroes don't need recognition. They just keep flying quietly for those they love most.